Hey you guys, it's me again, Anna. Okay, first of all, let me say I hate this tripod I'm using. I'm having to hold it in my hand because it's one of the small tabletop ones, and I can't get it to set up without showing the legs. Anyway, excuse me. So today's video is going to be about books, my TBR, my goals, what I'm going to read for this month. Yesterday I had said, I think I said Monday and Tuesday for video uploads, but no, I think it's going to be Tuesday and Wednesday. I don't know why I said Monday. Monday's going to be like gathering notes, content ideas, stuff like that. I can't remember the time I said yesterday, but I think when I gave a time yesterday, I didn't take into consideration that I walk in the mornings. I do 2 daily walks, 5 days a week. Anyhow, that out the way. Let's just say I'm gonna record and upload between like 10 and 12. Anyhow, so let's get started. So let's go over the TBR and goals, and then I'll give you a little bit of thoughts because I have started each and every one of these. And yeah, let's just get into it. So let me pull out my trusty notes. That way I don't get too tongue-tied. Okay, so for September, I'm going to be reading Roxy, The Dark Room, Kingdom of Ash, Midnight, Blood Like Magic, My Soul to Keep. I do have The Vampire Diaries, The Return, Volume 2, Shattered Souls listed, but it's not in here. I'll tell you why in the end. So my goals for September are going to be, number 1, continue Roxy. Number 2, continue Kingdom of Ash. I started this book in July. It was on that list in July for my TBR. And then in August, it was as a goal to continue. And then goal number 3 is continue TVD, The Return, Volume 2, Shadow Souls. I'll get to that in a second because I'm taking that off, but I'll explain in a minute. Continue Midnight, number 5. Then I have number 6, continue Blood Like Magic. Number 7, My Soul to Keep, continue that one. Number 8 says push myself to finish 2 from this list, even though it says to continue. Okay, let me explain this for a second. So most of these books, I'm pretty sure most of these I started in August. As a matter of fact, all of them I started in August. So a lot of these say continue instead of finish. I have a thing, okay? Sometimes I can read 1 or 2, be fine. Other times I have to start several. And it takes me a minute to get into it, even though I love to read. I love most books that I read. It's very seldom I come across a book I don't like. Now, hear me out on this one. And I know a lot of you, if anybody watches this, because right now I'm basically doing this for a visual for myself to see, what I'm reading, what I like, what I don't like, if there's anything. But if somebody happens to watch this and you like it, great, I appreciate it. So, I used to have a problem DNFing books. Like, I would feel like I have to finish them, okay? I had a book a few years ago. I think it was called Red Moon, Blood Moon, something like that. I hated that book, but I finished it. It took me 3 weeks, but I absolutely hated that book. That taught me if I don't like a book, just don't finish it. It's a waste of time. 1, I have way too much else that I want to read. 2, I own a lot of books. 3, I buy books. And believe me, I buy books. So that being said, fast forward a little bit, there's been a couple books here and there that I have put down but picked back up and ended up really liking them. So now, since I'm talking about that, let me go into the Vampire Diaries and why I said I'm taking number 3 goal, which was continue the TVD one. I watched the show first, okay? I love the show, and I think that made me biased because reading the books, I just can't. Now, I did know going into the books that they were very different from the show. I also know that the books were written first, and I can't separate that in my head. Like, I know they're different. I know there are different storylines and different things like that, but I can't. I am on book 4, because I think there are 3 books before the Return series, or a trilogy, or whatever it is. because, it's a couple different trilogies, quartets or whatever, within whatever. And so I started chapter 1 2 days before the end of August, because one of the goals for August was to start the Vampire Diaries. And even then, I hesitated to start that one because I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm going to want to finish this. Should I just get rid of them? And so I had it on my stand next to my bed, and I'm just looking at it like, because I saw something yesterday on Facebook, and I don't believe everything I see on Facebook. Let me go and say that. But it listed some things where something about just because you're a reader or you're still a reader, even though basically it was talking about how you don't have to read every day. You don't have to finish that book. And it's like, you know what? I knew that. I knew that just because I love to read, it doesn't mean I have to finish a book. Just because I paid money for a book doesn't mean I have to finish it. And I'm trying to be better about that because it just sucks, though. And I don't know if y'all would agree with me, but it sucks to put money into a book, whether it's a used book, a brand new book. Doesn't matter if you bought it from thrift books, which, as a matter of fact, my Vampire Diaries books did come from thrift books. But I have 7 books open, counting the Vampire Diaries, okay? I did that to myself, I know. But even without that, even if I only had 1 or 2 books open, I still have a lot of books on my shelves that need to be read. And why take and be miserable trying to read something that I'm just not into? Like, I dread picking it up. It's not horrible, but it's like, I can't get the character descriptions from the show out of my head. I can't get that show storyline out of my head. But anyway, so that's why, what I'm going to do, well, that's why I'm debating on whether keeping it or not. So, I think I'm just going to not continue that and let it go. So, number 3. Now, normally, goals I try to finish. But number 3, what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit out, because I check off my goals if I complete them. But number 3, I'm going to X out. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to go in, erase number 3, and rewrite something else. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to exit out and call it a fail. But because that's a failed goal, I'm going to add number 9. I don't know what that's going to be yet. But anyway, already 7.5 minutes in. Let's get into the rest of these. So we've got Dean Koontz. I don't know. Okay, we've got Dean Koontz Midnight. As you can see, I've got this from a used bookstore called McKay's. Love that place. And check it out. 90 cents for a book. Anyhow, it's Dean Koontz. It's Midnight. I am not, but, oh, God. You know what, y'all? Trying to do this, holding it, is probably going to be terrible. So if the angle gets messed up, forgive me. I'm trying to make it where I could show y'all. I'm only on chapter 4, page 18. So I'm not too far into that one, so I don't have any thoughts on it yet. But I think what I'm going to do as far as videos, when I finish books, I'm going to wait till the end of the month. And then I'll come back, do a video on what I have read. So what I have read will be another video that I do for the channel. That way I have a visual for what I've read. And, if anybody comes across it and they want to watch it and they like it, that's great. But anyway, for Dean Koontz, I haven't read enough to give any thoughts. But I'll come back toward the end of the month. And whatever books that I have finished, I will talk about. The ones I haven't finished, I will notate that to you guys and say, oh, well, I haven't finished this, but here's some thoughts so far. Now, of course, I've got 6 books right here since I took that one out. I also, throughout the month, as I finish some of these, or if I get a wild hair or whatever, if you will, I'll add something else and read that. So I'll read stuff that's not even on the goal list. But anyway, so that's Dean Koontz Midnight. I love Dean Koontz. He's one of my favorite authors. He has been for a very long time. If it's a little bit shaky, I'm very sorry. I am trying to be very, very still. But it's very hard. I need to see if I can fix my other tripod. And if I can't, I'm going to have to get a new one. So, forgive me. So, Neal Shusterman, Roxy. I discovered Neal Shusterman, I can't remember, 2 or 3 years ago. I read the Scythe trilogy. And if you're not aware, there's a 3.5. I think that's what number it is. And it's called Gleanings. I'm very much looking forward to that. But anyway, if you can hear the grass being mowed and you can hear lawnmower, somebody is out there mowing. Not my yard. My house sits on a whole bunch of land, and we are only responsible because I rent, and we are only responsible to mow certain parts of it. They're responsible to mow the rest, and that's what you hear. Anyhow, so I loved the Scythe trilogy. I loved Unwind. Roxy, or are they mowing mine? They're mowing mine too. Who is that? Sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. My grass is being mowed too, and I don't know why. So they better not charge me for that because it's going to irritate me. Anyway, I'm so sorry, y'all. I am so sorry. So anyway, what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Okay, I love the Unwind trilogy or quartet. It was a quartet. But anyway, Roxy. I heard who was it? I think it was Jesse the Reader. He discussed this. I think it was him. Anyhow, so I love Neal Shusterman. His writing style I like. I usually like his content. This one, I am on. Oh God, I don't. I'm all over the place, guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to get a better charge. So I'm on chapter 13. I like the writing style still. The story concept is an interesting one, but I'm not sure how I feel about what it's about. I'm going to read it a little bit more because, again, I would really hate to DNF a Neal Shusterman book. Oh my God, that would break my heart. But, I mean, again, I can flip through the pages easily, so that's not the problem. But this isn't, it's just not one of my favorites. And it's because of what it's about. And any of my videos, I really don't want to give spoilers. The only thing I will say about this book, and I hope this doesn't spoil anything, I'm going to call it a trigger warning and say it does deal with addiction. I will say that. So anyway, enough about that one. Let's go on to the next one. My Soul to Keep. I also got this from McKay's. It's by Judith Hawkes. I have never read anything by her before. This one's, it's horror. It's interesting. There is something about it that I'm not liking. But I'm going to continue it. Now, I did say to myself yesterday, if this one thing happens, I'm stop reading. Because that's disgusting. I don't want to say anything about it. This book is old. So I don't feel like it would be a spoiler. But if anybody sees this title, My Soul to Keep, know that's horror, and you like horror, you think it might be good. Because let me just tell you a little bit. It's about this woman. She does have an 8-year-old son. Her and her husband are split. They live in New York, but I think she's from, what is it? It's Tennessee. And it's summer vacation, and she took a break. She went back to her grandma's house. She inherited her grandma's house from the will. So she's taking a breather, if you will, at the home in Tennessee. Something happened in her childhood. I think it was a cousin or a friend or something. Something happened to him. I'm not going to go into detail. Again, I don't believe in giving spoilers, not even a little bit. But let's just say, she's taking a little vacation with her son. And just, she's meeting some family that she don't remember, but they remember her from when she was young. And there's this one cousin. He goes by Scott. I'm not even going to pronounce his real name because I will butcher it. But, anyhow, there's something she feels with the cousin, and I'm sure you can put 2 and 2 together if you're grown and you could put 2 and 2 together. She has feelings. I'm going to just go ahead and say it. She has an attraction for her cousin. If that spoils it, I'm sorry. I'm just irritated with that because that's disgusting. Even if they weren't raised together, you're still related. You know you're related, so why? But anyway, if they end up doing some things, I'm going to stop reading this book. Okay, again, forgive me for the shaking. I'm sorry. Hopefully you could still watch it. I'm trying to be still. Let's move on. Kingdom of Ash, the Throne of Glass series. This is book 8. It's the final book. Now, I do love this series. However, I learned something about myself last year. I do not like long book series. So now when I go book shopping at McKay's or I'm ordering something online or whatever, I check to see if it's a standalone. I will check to see how many, if it's a series, I will check how many books. And if it's a longer series, I will not get it. I don't care how interesting it seems. Because again, I don't usually check synopsises either. I try to go in blind. But there are some times where I look at a title. If it seems interesting and it's a genre that I like, I will check to see how many books it is. And if it's long, I won't do it. So this, I love the Throne of Glass series. It's been an interesting time. But even though I love the series, I'm not going to lie, I'm over it. I am ready to be done with this. I am not very far into this book. Well, actually, no. What page am I on? If you see my nails, I'm sorry. Good thing I did my nails yesterday. I'm on page 200, chapter 23. So I'm a little ways in, but not too far. But yeah, I'm ready to be done. I learned that about myself. Like, I have a couple other series on my shelves that are longer that I may not even bother with, even though I bought them a couple years ago, and they've been there, but I don't know yet. That's another time, another video, another thought process. Blood Like Magic by Liselle Sambury. Hope I didn't jack up her first name. So Blood Like Magic is a duology. The other one's called Blood Like Fate. For this one, I am on page 288, chapter 22. So this is good. I like it so far. I'm interested to continue reading it. It's about a family of witches. They have magic, but in this family, you have to do something called a calling, and one of your ancestors comes back to do your calling, give you your task, things like that. Our main character, Voya, I think that's how you pronounce her name. At least in my head, that's how you pronounce it. She has this difficult, complicated task. And they've never had a task. No one in that family's ever had a task like that. And it's a longer task. It's not a one and done situation. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So, these are the 6 books I'm reading. I will come back with another video, and I guess I'll call it like what I've read or something, thoughts on what I've read so far, or something to that effect. I'm hoping you like this video. I'm hoping you're able to watch it, even though it was a little bit shaky. I think when I do my videos next week, I'm going to either see if I can fix the other one, or make this one better, or just order a new one from Amazon. Something, I don't know. But anyway, so next week it won't be Thursday and Friday. Next week it'll be Tuesday and Wednesday. For now, I plan on doing 2 videos a week, 1 makeup, 1 books. For now, and then my upload will be Tuesday and Wednesday. As far as times, I'm gonna say anywhere between 10 and 12. But anyway, if you come across this and you watch the whole thing and you like it, I greatly appreciate it. Give it a like, subscribe if you want. I'm hoping my content is good enough for people to watch, but if it's not, I decided to do this, 1, for something to do since my kids went back to school, and 2, it gives me a visual of what I like and my thoughts on books, my thoughts on makeup products, and, different things like that. And it also lets me talk out loud and verbalize my thoughts on things without seeming crazy. Even though I'm talking to a camera, but at least I know it's not to myself and it's being uploaded. I know that sounds weird, but anyway. But anyway, you guys, have a great day. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Tuesday in a new video. Bye. Oh, and happy Labor Day.